Hello and welcome back to another Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. So today might finally be the last of the Shire. We will see how we get on. We have a couple more of those bloody pie quests left to do. Where are we going? Eriador, Shire. We have two more pies in our epic pie travels, and then that is the last of the quest where we have to go across the Shire and deliver everything. We've done all the Mal quest already, so that's already a good start. So hello to anyone who's in the chat. By anyone, I mean the usual suspects, because you're probably lurking. So we are starting today over in Brockenboring. So this is the one town that we haven't actually done any quest in yet, besides a bit of hand-ins at the end of the last session. But otherwise, we've pretty much been everywhere in the Shire. We've got a couple of quests over to the north of the Greenfields that we haven't done yet. So we're going to end up doing Brockenborings, Greenfields, mopping up some loose bits. Hopefully that will be the end of the Shire. Probably going to be a lot of running around though. But we will see how we get on today. So it might end up being a little bit of a shorter stream than usual. So we are in the Brockenborings Watch Office, which is where we finished up at the end of the last episode. We have Bound of Brimstone.
Might I speak with you a moment?
We've been under a lot of pressure lately from folk in Brockenborings and the nearby villages, complaining that Mayor Whitfoot hasn't done any more to deal with the problems in the Shire. Maybe we should make absolutely sure that Miss Tunley's goblin is a figment of her imagination. There's a hunter of some kind who camps out on the Greenfields. His name is Halros, and for one of the big folk he seems to be a decent enough fellow. Show him that pointy stone of yours and ask him what he makes of it. To find his camp, follow the wall east out of Brockenborings. When it leaves the road, head off the path and follow the wall to a copse of trees. You might know what that stone really is. So Halros we get to know a bit better in the Volume 3 epic story as well. So we'll probably see... actually no, I'll say that. That's in the past actually, because that's before we went down to Isengard that we would have gathered him and met the rest of the rangers. So let's head outside. But I'm trying to think if he's perished yet. I think he is alive. He's not one of the ones that died on the road. Who we got here? We have a Ponto Hornblower.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Have you heard the rumours yet? Friends of mine are saying that Pansy Tunley down at Scary saw a goblin on the Greenfields, and there are sure to be more of them creeping into the Shire. This is terrible news. The grazing on the Greenfields is better than anywhere else, and I bring my sheep out there every day. What will I do if goblins surprise me out there? I heard some goblins are particularly skilled with spears. I could be a pincushion before I even saw them. You'd be putting my mind at ease if you could make sure there are none of those spear-throwing goblins in northern Greenfields, Silry. I would feel a lot better if I knew there were really no goblins out there at all. So I have to deal with them. Now there are a couple of quests up in the tavern by the looks of it, so let us mount up. And there's actually a couple to the northeast of town as well. So inside the local tavern, or actually not quite yet, the Plough and Stars, Ivo Brockhouse.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Oh, it's a pie quest. That's where the pie quest is. Okay, we'll save that one till later. And yep, speak of the devil and they should appear. Hello, Shire Hobbit.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
So, the Tavern Keep, House and Tubwort. Be welcome to the Plough and Stars. Stay a while and put your feet up. Try our famous Woollyfoot Stout. Good, isn't it? But let me tell you, I have a brewing problem you might be able to help me with. It's almost like that every innkeeper's got a brewing problem. The Four Farthings Brewing Moot is coming up, and I want to make some of my best Woollyfoot Stout for the judging. But you see, I need my secret ingredient. I use powdered gypsum to take the bitter edge off the brew. Usually I order it from the quarry in Scary, not far to the east of here, but it hasn't shown up. Can you please go to Scary and find out from old Wilcom Tunley what happened to it? Much obliged to you. So we'll take that quest. Hello to Julius as well. Where we go? Nothing else in here, so let's head back outside. And let's go northeast because there's a couple, I think, over by that hobbit hole. actually up here by the windmill. So there's actually something else up here as well, which is this Hobbit lamp. Which, if you've ever been to Enedwaith, you'll know what these are. Most of these are in Enedwaith itself, but this is a random one that is randomly in the Shire, just to sort of tie everything together. Basically, the hobbits used to live over in the Misty Mountains. So they were kind of over this kind of region. So that's back where like Smeagol and Deagle used to live until they kind of migrated west and then settled in the Shire. So down there's like a load of like hobbit relics. There's a forgotten hobbit tribe out there as well in the north. And they've left a couple of these lampposts as well, kind of like indicating their journey. And there's a similar kind of migrationary thing for dwarves as well. Although I'm trying to think where the dwarven one is. Is it outside Four Inns Hall or inside Four Inns Hall? But the Shire one is in here. So since we haven't actually picked up any in the Enedwaith, actually no, I need to be a certain level to interact with it. So, oh no, there we go. There we go. New deed, Long Road of the Hobbits. So it's kind of tracking the Hobbits trail. So there's a whole bunch of these. So 3 of them are in Enedwaith, and then the last one is in the Shire. As I say, there's a similar one for dwarves, which is why this comes under technically an Enedwaith deed, not a Shire deed. But you get some nice stuff. A couple of points, an emote, a title, virtue XP. So if you're starting out, you are not going to get to Enedwaith until you're like in the level 60 to 65 kind of region. So don't worry about completing that deed just yet. We can remove that from the tracker. So I've got a couple of quests. Bodo Goodbody.
Stay and have some tea.
There have always been bears on the greenfields, but recently something made them angry. They've been attacking shepherds and sheep alike, and I don't know how long it'll be before someone is seriously hurt. If you can discourage the bears from the greenfields, it will be much safer for those of us whose work takes us north of Brockenborings, and also for those who just like a pleasant walk in the sun. Would you be of a mind to help? I'm sure it would be most appreciated. So it's going to give us either an axe or pies. Now, since we can't use axes, it's going to be all about the food. And lastly, Sigismund Northtook.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Welcome. Are you here to pay your respects to the bull roarer? Banderbreast Bull Roarer Took. He is my ancestor, you know, and the greatest hero of the Shire. A long time ago, an army of goblins invaded the Shire. Goblins, of all things. Well, the bull roarer, he wouldn't stand for it. No, sir. He gathered all the Tooks and other brave hobbits he could muster and rode out on his horse against them. So yeah, he used to ride a horse, not a pony, because he was quite large for a hobbit, famously large. So he could ride the big stuff. You heard me right, Siri. A horse, a full-grown horse. The bull roarer was 4'5", as the family records tell, and could ride a horse just like the big folk. Every spring we honour his memory by holding the Feast of the Greenfields. We usually place tankards of Bull Roarer's brew, Banderbreast's favourite drink, around his statue. But so many folk have come out this season that we are completely out of clover, one of the main ingredients. You wouldn't be able to go out and get us more clover, would you, my good hobbit? The clover only grows on the greenfields north of the Brockenborings. So, grab that. Is there any other quests in the town? That is a good point. Yeah, that is a Spring Festival quest. Because the Spring Festival is now activated. But we'll do it, because we're here, so screw it. Never-ending Shire questing. Actually, I've now got a quest ring up top. Actually, no, it's the pie quest, isn't it? Anything else to the west? Otherwise, it looks like we're going into the Greenfields. Yep. So, up we go, past the skirmish camp. Let's just do a track nearby quest just to rearrange those if they're any different. No. Right, so to the east is Haros, which is that red quest ring. And I think we've got to go back to Pansy at the quarry and speak to her. So Haros is just hiding suspiciously in the low ground. It's not very tactical.
How can I be of service?
What is this? A goblin tooth? It is a pleasure to meet you, Silwy, but I must confess I have already come across goblins in the Shire, as you can see. This was just a scouting party, but there is sure to be a larger camp of the creatures somewhere nearby. We must deal with this threat before the goblins rally their courage to attack the nearby towns.
How can I be of service?
While I am not from the Shire, my kindred are sworn to defend its folk against all threats. I am what the folk of the Bree would call a ranger. If you would aid me in my task, you have my gratitude, Silri. The goblin encampment must be somewhere to the north, but I have not yet had an opportunity to track these goblins. We should each set out in opposite directions and search the North Greenfields. If you find the encampment, thin their numbers as much as you can, then return here to my camp. I will do the same. For the sake of the good folk who make their homes in this peaceful place, I hope we find the lair of these goblins, Silri. So, accept that one. And then I think we go to the quarry next, because that's probably just go talk to someone and come back. We can do the old fence running quest as part of the Spring Festival as well. We're going slightly over here. Who do we speak to? Someone over there. Is it Pansy? No, it's Wilcom.
Just a moment.
You've come from Howson? It's a sad story, I have to tell. Just as well, it's you. I have sent one of my men up to the old plough with a cart to take that gypsum up for Howson and bring a few kegs back here, but he came back in quite a panic. It seems he was waylaid by goblins just as he was almost at Brockenborings, even though it's just over the hill, but hey-ho. To think goblins in the Shire! He had to leave the cart behind and barely escaped. I told one of the bounders here, but they haven't done anything yet. Maybe if you can find those goblins up around Brockenborings way, you might find the cart carrying the gypsum too. My man says the goblins seem to be coming from the north, from what that's worth. So have to go find that. What is the green quest? Bears on the green fields. So it's not just literally in the green fields, it's anywhere in the eastern parts of the Shire. But we can go back to the green fields. We'll probably get enough of them by doing other stuff anyway. So up and over. So any bears we're going to murder, we need to go north to kind of either side of the road up to Evendim. That's where the two goblin camps are. So these bears will count. You'll do. Punch it in the ass. Okay, it's stunned me. Well, that's awkward. There we go. One. Do we have any trait points? No, we don't. Just in case there's any unspent from last session. Right, spank all our things. A couple of wolves up here as well, which we still need for our Slayer Deed. Given that the bears are a slight bit underneath us in terms of level, we can spank them pretty easy now. I don't know if I've actually been down in this valley. It just goes down to the Brandywine River, so there's nothing really of interest. Seems you can climb that hill though. Up to there. Maybe we can get around the back of the goblin camp. I've never tried that. Let's make this wolf just because he's here. Bonk. Alright, let's mount back up. So, what other class quest do we need to do? So, if we go class race epic, class deeds, so long distance fling. So we need to throw more pint glasses at people. That's using our hurl object skill. Smash through the ranks. Do we need badges? No, we don't need badges. Just bears. Use the skills Mighty Upheaval, Backhand Clout, and Strike Towards the Sky. Okay, so that's our AoE skill. Mighty Upheaval and Strike Towards the Sky. So that's possibly the only one we've got at the moment. So basically just spam the fist button. That's okay. Use the skills you acquired when specialising as the Maelstrom. What were those two? That's the bottom one. Maelstrom doesn't tell me what I got. That's awkward. I have to figure that out on the fly. Right, Clover. Pick up the Clover for the Spring Festival. 5 patches of them. Again, if you're having a bit of difficulty spotting these, press the N key, N for names. Just helps you spot them a little bit easier. Otherwise you can look for the sparkles and the glow. Come on, interact. So for those of you that haven't noticed, especially those of you in chat, there's been a recent letter from the executive producer, which they're doing quarterly these days, just detailing the kind of things that are coming at the moment. So they've talked about the next update that's going to come. I think it was estimated for the end of April, but they're going to be releasing a brand new area. It's unclear how big it is. I would imagine it's going to be probably comparable to Wildwood, like a smaller type region, which is called the Yonder Shire, which, oh hello, you're having fun there, which is meant to be like the remote parts of the Shire, where the dodgy folk live, basically. Where are we going? Oh, we just go really far northwest. Okay. We'll head deep into this camp. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. I don't know if they actually said what the level range for that was going to be, but it sounds like it's going to be another reasonably low level area. So we shall see. But there's been other kind of important things that they've announced in there. So I mean, I'm going to do a separate video on the letter itself. But one of the main things is all of the content that was released before, up to and including Helm's Deep. So that's most things below level 95, but not all things, because some pre-level 95 content came out after Helm's Deep, like Wildwood, and the soon-to-be released Yonder Shire, and what was the other one? I've forgotten off the top of my head. There's another one they did as well, but those, it seems from the wording, will not be free, but otherwise everything else will be included. So that's the first 5 expansions basically. So anything that came out pre-expansion or between expansions, everything that was in Moria, everything in Mirkwood, everything in Isengard, East Rohan, West Rohan, all 5 of those expansions will be included for free. And they're going to change some other bits and pieces, so you don't have to like buy the high off class, race. You don't have to buy the Yawning, Runekeeper and Warden classes, so it's simplifying things, not as much as it probably could be, because like I say, if they just made it literally all content below level 95 regardless of when it was released, it'd be a bit easier to track what is and isn't included. But otherwise it's a nice step to make things easier for people to join the game without having to buy tons of expansions and stuff. So it's a good time to get into LOTRO, basically, or it will be once they do that. Are you going to wait for me to pull everything? Come on, they're not that hard. Otherwise you're not going to be able to shoot it once. I don't even know where I'm going at the minute. Actually, I've done everything I need to in here. I think I just needed to kill a certain number of goblins in each camp, didn't I? Anyway, killing a few more. Doesn't do any harm to kill a few more goblins. So, Lost Shire Hobbit, floating names equals massive saves all the time, yeah. Helps you find stuff that otherwise might go unnoticed. Particularly if you're finding small things. Like the various quests that you get sometimes to look for footprints. That can be quite hard to spot if you don't have the floating names on. But if it's bigger patches of stuff, it's generally a bit easier, and you can see the flashing a lot easier if it's a big object. And you're so happy about the new area. Yeah, I mean, they haven't told us too much about it. There's like a little bit of a teaser picture of what it will look like. But I don't know if they've really said whereabouts it is, because they said, I can't remember the exact phrasing, but they used the word northern, which implies it's going to be north of the Shire, so like maybe sort of like north or west beyond these parts. Because they can't go literally north, because otherwise we hit Evendim. But maybe like to the northwest of the existing Shire. So they could like wedge it in here or something on the larger map, which would make sense. Or they could be really cheeky and they could use it to connect Mickle Delving to Ered Luin. It's not Mickle Delving, the western part of the Shire to the eastern part of Ered Luin, because there is just like a portal. So if they wanted to be tactical, they could do that. There might be complications for that because they might have to move the physical coordinates of stuff in Ered Luin to join up with the proper world map completely. But it'd be interesting. I'm interested to see what they do with that. So where are we going now? Let's camp over here. Still need 5 bears as well. I can grab them on the way back. Hello. There's a quest ring. Mungo Burrows.
Could I take a moment of your time?
So this is technically a fellowship quest, but you should be fine to solo it. You've come along at just the right time, neighbour. The goblins in that camp over there have stolen my prized ewe, and if you don't do something, they'll roast her over a spit. I have other sheep, but she's the pick of the lot and wins prizes at the Brock and Borings Wool Festival year after year. You've got to rescue her. You've got to go inside the goblin camp over there and escort her out. She won't be able to leave on her own. She's just a sheep. She'll need you to guard her on her way out, so stay sharp. You might want to bring some friends along. I don't think those goblins care too much for what they eat. So they might eat us as well. Let's throw a pint glass at that bear. Bonk. Actually, that did half health. Not bad. Super effective. So I think we're going... No, not in there. In this direction. So casually stroll inside. Oh, there's the gypsum in the cart. Yoink. So that's got to go back to town. Still need to go east. Don't think we actually need to kill any of these goblins. Just go explore. This one's going to get a bit too close though. Pint glass. Point blank. Bonk. Is this where the sheep is as well? Yeah, there it is. Right. Press all the buttons for a pint glass. Bonk. There we go, we completed Goblin Slayer. That is the normal one, not the advanced. As I say, by the time we're done here, we'll probably easily have the advanced done anyway. Bah! To you too as well. The stolen ewe from Mungo Burrows looks at you vacantly and appears to decide that now is the time to leave the goblin camp. Off it goes. So, as we escort it out, there'll probably be some goblins that spawn we need to take out. I don't know how much health this sheep has got, so let's stay close. It's actually got 1,000 health, so that's actually quite a bit. So these ones seem to have spawned in. Pint glass. Bonk. There we go. Murder these. Now if I can figure out, is it going to go left or right? Probably right because there's more goblins, yep. Has to choose the more difficult route. Just whack everyone on the way out. Come on. All on me. Gather up, gather around, and take an AoE to the face. Right, where's the sheep gone? No, come back! Dolly, you're running off again. I'm liking all these devastating hits that are popping up. Right, grab all these. Oh, I've been rooted. That's the problem with goblins, they do like rooting you quite a bit. Spankle them. Well, if you insist on rooting me, fine. I'm still going to die, it just means I need a bit longer. Spank you. Grab these ones just because they're close. Had that deed. Alright, is that it? You happy now, or have I got to take you literally all the way back? We're going all the way back, aren't we? Okay, fine. I'll kill the wolf then. Throw a mug in his face. Oh no. One last attack, is it? Or are they just random ones? There we go. No followers, no witnesses. What a relief, she's alright. So let's head in, hand that one in.
What do you need?
Thank you ever so much, Sylvie. I'll dedicate her next win at Brockenboring's Wolf Festival to you, my reliable friend. Take these coins for your trouble, and take my thanks as well. So, got a gift madam, got a bracelet. 15 morale, it's not really worth it. I'd rather have the 6 might, although if I have a second bracelet slot, which I do, I might as well equip that. And then consume that gift madam for the reputation. Kill the wolf. So I think we proc that Goblin Slayer advanced on the top of that Goblin camp. I've already killed 21 on the way out, so that's not too bad. So track nearby quests. I can remove the Goblin Slayer. So what have we got to do? Something to the northwest. The red one. So we've got to find that Hobbit's auntie, who is somewhere up here. Are they literally in the Goblin camp? Because that is a bit of a pain if they are. I think this is just going to take me up into Evendim. Or can I get on top of this hill? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to take me into Evendim. Awkward. I might have had to grab that when we were in the first camp, so I think we're going back in. So how is everyone getting on with levelling in the chat then? What's your latest levelling exploits, Lost Shire Hobbit? Or anyone else who's around? Been to any interesting new regions of late? Mug. Bonk. I thought that was a wolf then, but it's not. There we go. Alright, let's mount up. I need to get on the top of that hill, so I think it's literally going to be at the back of this this Goblin camp. Or can we get on this hill? No. Yeah, we're going to have to go in the Goblin place and all the way around the back. Oh, there's our friend there. Screw it, let's dismount, spite them all. Lost Shire Hobbit, camp to your right, Golfimble's Hole. Which is where I'm in now, so that's alright. I haven't missed anything. Now I bet you, if I completed the Goblin Slayer Advance now, I bet you there's going to be another quest to come back later. Got a sneaking suspicion there's one that we maybe have to collect drops from them. Or are they dropping things that I need to do? It's been so long since I've been here. Bonk. Oh, almost one shot him. There we go. No. 2 health. Damn it. Bonk. Punch him in the nuts. So most of the quests we've got at the minute are hand-ins, so I think as soon as we've got this umbrella, we're good to go back to town. Plus a few bears. I'm rooted. Bloody rooting. Let me out! The problem with a lot of the goblin root attacks is that they have obscenely long durations, like 30 seconds or something. So if one roots you just as you kill the last mob, you're kind of stuck with the full root duration. Because the roots are kind of like soft crowd control, so if things hit you, there's a chance that it breaks soft crowd control and would otherwise free you from being rooted. So it can be a bit awkward sometimes. You just sort of stand there going, my shoelaces are tied, I can't move. Right, so it's due east of where we are now, but we can't go... Ah, they can go up there though. There we are. That's what I missed last time. So head up here. Lost Shire Hobbit says Cicero's is questing in the Suckcrofts and rebuilding Hitbold. Or Hootbold. I think it's the technical correct pronunciation. Ye old English. So that was quite a fun thing to do back in the day when they introduced that. It was something different. Although of course once you got past the East Rohan level cap, it was a bit of a grind to do that when it wasn't the level cap. So, but rebuilding that, seeing the town slowly get rebuilt, turn from like a burnt down mess into like a freshly built kind of town. Everything's brand new again. It's quite nice, quite fun, and it's a lot easier to do now as well because you don't have a lot of daily restrictions. Well, you have a lot less daily restrictions at least. I don't know what the current rules are for it, how many you can do a day. I think you can probably do it unlimited, but do them in batches of 5 or something. But it's a fun little thing to do. And Brielle Rose is in the Golden Wood, and your Brawler is in Ostforod. So moving along nicely then. Although they're all doing festival as well. So are you someone who drops everything every time a festival comes along? I used to be a lot like that, and then I would grind the crap out of the LOTRO festivals. There's the umbrella. But then there just became so much to do. You needed like hundreds upon hundreds of tokens. To be fair, once you've done them like a couple of years running, a lot of the stuff you have already, and then you only have to worry about getting the new stuff each year. So it does get a bit easier. But these days, if you're a new player doing the festivals for the first time, there's so much stuff that you think, oh, I'd love that cosmetic, or I want this, I want that, and then you just have to grind loads of stuff every day to get the various tokens you need. Some sort of boss goblin here. Could have interrupted him if I knew what that was. I don't know what the hell I've just done, but I just pummeled the crap out of him. Was it this? Was it this? No, it wasn't this. Okay. Rally the first ship. Use skills that buff your allies. So I think that procced when I pressed get serious. What was the pummeling one? It wasn't the strike. Oh, it's the one literally called pummel. Who would have guessed it? But that's quite a nice little animation. So remove that. Track nearby again. So, and serious demeanour. I need 150 of them. So I can just basically just press get serious every time it comes off cooldown. And as we've discussed previously, there seems to be no limits on how many of those you can do a day with the Brawler class deeds. So you can literally just do them as soon as they come off cooldown, spam them again. Work towards your progress. So jump down here. Do we still need the bears? 2 bears. So that's the stun button. Okay, let's put that over there. The problem is that there tends to be such a gap between when I do the recording streams, like a couple of weeks, that I forget what half the buttons do. The basic buttons are easy enough, just sort of spam them on rotation, just muscle memory. I always forget what the advanced buttons do that use your metal. Besides the main ones I use. So the AoE one works quite nicely for the landscape, 3 targets. Does nice damage. And while I'm slightly over leveled over these mobs, that pretty much murders them anyway. So where are we going? How Ross is off to the east. Everything else seems to be a hand in back in town in Brockenboring. So let's do How Ross first. I haven't actually used my Hobbit gifts for the day. So what do we got? Silver one, enhanced XP supply. Gold one, free simple rally horns, so you can summon allies to your side wherever they are in the world. So they can be useful sometimes.
How can I be of service?
You have returned, Sylvie, and not a moment too soon. I am afraid to say that the goblin presence is much greater than I expected. There are already 2 camps of the creatures in the Greenfields. The goblins are led by a chieftain, which I've just killed, as you might expect, but I have come across something unusual. There are whispers that the chieftain reports to someone else. I have not learned the identity of this mysterious figure, but he does not seem to be a goblin, which troubles me. So he's going to give me either, well, actually a bracelet and a sword, neither of which are interesting.
What do you need?
Two goblin encampments. I cannot understand what would bring goblins to the Shire after so long and in such numbers. Bounder Primstone must be warned of the grave threat these goblins pose. Go to the watch house in Brockenborings and give him these tidings. Just head back along the wall and to the west. His town will be the first to fall if the goblins attack, so he deserves as much warning as we have to give. Warn him to be wary, however, not to wag his tongue too much. It would do more harm than good to panic these people. Yep, because they like a bit of a peaceful life. So back into town and talk to all the people. I have at least cleared a load of bag space this time, so I can actually take all these hand-ins.
How do you do?
You have braved the claws of the angry bears? Many thanks to you, Sylvie. I will tell my friends here in Brockenborings that soon they will be able to walk the green fields again without fear of the bears. So I can either choose an axe or the pies. Can't use an axe. Pie it is. And lastly,
Hello there.
Spring Festival quest. You have gathered the clover we need. Excellent. We should have more Brawler's brew in no time.
Good
And
day.
I can do it again.
Might I have a
No,
word
can't.
with you?
It's a follow-up. Now that we have the clover, it must be brewed. The only place in the whole Shire which makes Brawler's brew is the Golden Perch. The original recipe was made by Banderbus himself and passed down from innkeeper to innkeeper at the Perch. They've been making it for over 250 years. The clover is one of the main ingredients and also what gives it its green colour. Bring the clover you collected to Gundrick Grub at the Golden Perch and you should have some Brawler's brew before the day is out. The Golden Perch is located in Stock. Hurry back as soon as you can with the Brawler's brew. So, okay, bit of running. But that's fine. Why did random quest rings appear? Were they against my quests or something? Something just flashed up on the screen. So a couple more. Are they all by the inn? I think one might be in the watch office. So one in the watch office, this one over here, and the rest are up by the tavern.
What do you need?
It's safe. Are you sure? Nothing to worry about? Oh, that's such a relief. Thank you, thank you. So I can either choose some light feet, but we're a heavy armour class, and it's a lot less armour anyway, so no thank you. Or some stuffed cabbages, which are a regen food. So in keeping with my Hobbit ways, I will choose food over everything else. Then over to the Brockenborings watch office.
How do you do?
Two camps of goblins. Things are going from bad to worse, Silry. I was much happier when I thought Pansy Tunley was just seeing things again. What is happening to the peace and quiet of the Shire these days? You'd best go to Scary down the road east of here and find out from Wilcome Tunley again what's going on at the quarry. I don't like the stories I'm hearing about this skull they found down there. I'm sure the rumours will just add to Pansy's. So again, back and forth between the two. And now we need to go up the hill to the inn. Lost Shire Hobbit says, yes, you do drop pretty much everything when the festival starts. Yeah. Got to have all the shiny bits and pieces. Although Cicero's is doing Hit Bold and then going... and the Rapper Quest has a 3 hour-ish cooldown. Okay, so it's a small timer-based cooldown then. That's not too bad. So potentially you could do a few of them a day.
Good day.
Oh, you had to fight goblins for this gypsum? That's above and beyond the call, my friend. You deserve some of my beer on the house for that. So again, they give me the local beer. We get a gift, Mavum. We should consume the gift muffin wherever it is. I've got 3 of them. There we go, 700 each. No follow-up quest indoors, that's good. Head back outside. Maggie Christie says Smeagol and Deagle were on the other side of the Misty Mountains. Okay, I thought they were on the western side. You're watching from the beginning, so yeah, my memory is certainly not exact. So we need to go to Scary and we need to do the pie quest. Do we want to do the pie? Let's get it over and done with, shall we?
Might I speak with you a moment?
I see you eyeing that pie there. Hands off. That's from Holly Hornblower of Hobbiton, and it's only for paying customers of the Plough and Stars. Bad berries, eh? Well, I suppose I can trust you. I can't risk feeding my customers a bad pie. All right, take the pie back to Holly in Hobbiton. Her home is north of the main square. Tell her that I'd better get another in return. So we need to pick up the pie. We will have a certain time to deliver it. We need to watch out for hungry hobbits, which if we look at the minimap we can see the little eye icons on the map. So, there's one due east of us as well, which is awkward. So if we come along the west here, I don't think we can climb up here. If we pay attention to this one over there, we should be able to sneak behind the stables. Sneak out of town, there we go. Now we should be good for most of the way now. So, the route I think we're going to take, bear in mind we can't go in the water. We shall cross this bridge just to get across the river at a nice easy point. Let's cross that before I bring the map up, otherwise I know I'm going to end up falling in. So we can pretty much take the road most of the way through Overhill and that. We came through here last time we were delivering a pie. There's no hungry hobbits on the way. However, we can't use the main bridge in Hobbiton because there's one literally patrolling that bridge, which makes it a little bit awkward to get past. So the best thing we can do is go slightly east of Hobbiton. I think it's roughly about there, where you got the fishing spot by Bywater. We shall cross over there and then head west into Hobbiton where we drop that off. And then once we've done that, that is 11 out of 12 pie quests. And then there's only one more damn pie quest to do. And then I can stop getting very angry about it because they drive me mad. All that running around. So as long as we're watching out where we're going, we can run through the woods. There are some hostile mobs. But otherwise they're not overly dangerous, so just take care where you're running, particularly if you're a slightly lower level than I am. And then pretty much due south now. So once you're out the woods, that should be the dangerous part done. Past this field, and then just underneath this hill we should see somewhere around here. There it is. The little bridge by the fishing spot. Where once, I think it's the summer festival, you have all the fishing quests here, catching fish. So we come across here, there's no hungry hobbits near this spot, so we're fine. Go west, jump over these walls. And we just need to take a little bit of care as we come into Hobbiton proper. Because there's the one that always gets me to the southeast of Hobbiton. But if we stay far to the north by the windmill, there's one over here somewhere. Wait for him to show up on the map. There he is, he's over there. We target him. There he is. Whoop. It's a hungry hobbit and a nosy hobbit hiding behind that tree, so don't want to be spotted by either of them two. So over here, take it to Holly, deposit. Good, you've found another one of these bad pies. Thanks, friend. Only one more to go. Can we actually hand in any task items? Have I got my plugin on this? Is it DTC? There we go. Can we hand in Dirty Ears? Can hand in one of them. Who do we hand it into? Stable Master. We can do a matted fur, matted skins. So that's a fur. That's a skin. Squishy goose. We've got broken dagger. That'll do. So for those of you in the chat or watching the video later, this is a plugin called Daily Tasks. I have done a video of it on the channel. So if you search for Daily Task plugin on the channel, you will find a little tutorial how to use it. It's quite handy. The one that I'm running at the minute is probably massively out of date, so...
Is there something I can do for you?
Cool.
Is there something I can do for you?
Hand these in
Is
just
there
because we do
something I
5
can
days a
do for
day.
you?
A
Is
little bit of
there
extra
something
XP.
I can do for you? Just
A
a
little bit of
moment.
extra reputation with the Matham Society, so worth doing. A couple of them each day if you've just got all these like purple trash items in your bags. You can just hand those in for tasks. I always hoard them. But certainly worth doing. So, what have we got next? Shire. We're going to cheat our way back over there. So this has taken us back over to the quarry in Scary, where we needed to be earlier. So, Fosco Bovin.
Hello.
Oh no, you found Aunt Prunilla's umbrella. I was afraid you might. My poor old auntie, she was a tough old lady, but I used to visit her all the time. Once every few months at least. She will be missed by one and all. I just know it. Scary is poorer for her loss. Oh, my poor Aunt Prunella, to think she'd meet her end at the hands of the goblins. What are you coming over here for, Daisy? Don't be silly. Prunella has been visiting me all day.
What do you need?
Good gracious me. It could be that I might have gotten ahead of myself. Well, it's good that the old lady is safe. I'm terribly sorry for troubling you about this. Take these coins and I'd appreciate it if you didn't go mentioning this to anyone. So we can either choose a light armour leg piece, but as I say, we're a heavy armour class, we don't want that. So food option it is. Another quest done. So James F. Beveridge says, by the way, the drinking and tavern crawl quest at the party tree will automatically give you acquaintance level rep with the Inn League, which will give you an extra quest at the Spring Festival Maze. Yeah, so it does indeed. But that is with the Inn League, and the one, I assume it's also enabled as well. The one in Bree for the dwarves will give you the same for the oh, what is it called? It's the something society, the Owl Society, something like that.
Hello.
Welcome back to Scary, Silwy. You want to know about the skull? Well, as it happens, my workers broke through a wall in the back of the cave down in the quarry, and a whole swarm of huge spiders came boiling out. As my lads were running from the cave, one of them noticed a skull sitting on a pile of rock. I just know that skull has got to be evil. Why, I bet it's called all these spiders to the quarry in the first place.
Might I have a word with you?
It looks like my sister Pansy wasn't too far wrong after all. We've got Golfimble's head in that cave. You've got to go into the cave down at the bottom of the quarry and recover that skull. My lads mentioned that a strange mist covered the floor of the room where they found the skull. I won't blame you if you bring your friends with you. In fact, I encourage you to do so. The spiders have really made themselves at home in the quarry, and who knows what other evils Golfimble's head might stir up down there. Bring it up here so we can have a look at it, and maybe we can figure out what's going on. So, do that. We need to go head down into the quarry. Lost Shire Hobbit, I know that you hoard them. The amount of times this week you've heard me saying a no bag space in Angmar and how laughing at that. Yeah. Some things don't change. Me having no bag space is one of those things. I hoard absolutely everything. There's no wastage and never has been. Very few items get trashed or sold. Always find a use for everything. James F. Beveridge says, yes, the Owl Association. There we go. That's the dwarven version. They didn't like the hobbits being in charge of the beer when they started their own society. Oh, there we go. Completed Enmity of the Spiders. That's one of our racial deeds. So, Enmity of the Spiders gives us Hobbit Stature. So that just counteracts the small, and I must emphasise small, decrease to might that hobbits start with. So hobbits, because of their small stature, are less strong than other races. But it's such a minuscule penalty to your stats, even at the low levels. But at the high levels, it's like 0.00% of your core stats. So don't worry about whatever the penalties or buffs are to certain stats are when you're rolling a new character, depending on the races. Just ignore those. So it's nice to have, but +9 might is meaningless really. So there are plenty of other better racial traits to slot. But if we've got it and we've got a slot to put it in, it's worth putting it in basically. So we're going to fight our way to the back, kill all the spiders, kill the queen, because why not? There's probably more than one queen anyway. Punch them all to death. Where are we going? So we're looking for a room where it may be a bit misty or foggy in the bottom. Going downhill seems like a good idea. There we go, there's another queen in here. There we go. Right. Load all these. Chuck a pint glass in its face. Bang. There we go, chip skull. Pick it up. Skull acquired. Mission complete. Like I said, says, oh dear, the arachnophobia kicks in. Yeah, sorry if anyone doesn't like spiders, especially like dead spider where they curl up like that. Ugh. I came home the other day and there was a huge spider on my front door. And I'm not ashamed to say I splatted the hell out of it. Do not like spiders. Do not like having to deal with spiders, but I'd rather deal with it than have it running around the house. Right, so back up the ladder, takes us back outside the quarry. Head back upstairs, probably mount up, save a bit of time. Probably going to end up bringing a little train of spiders with us, but oh well. I think we did complete our spider slayer, so let's have a look. Shire, so we've still got the pie, need a few more brigands. Harvest fly slayer, we need quite a few of them. Slugs, like I said, I'll probably end up doing that off stream. And then wolf slayer advanced.
Hello.
You made it out of the quarry, Sylvie. I was a bit worried, what with all the spiders about. I see that you found the skull. It certainly is a hideous thing, isn't it? I can't tell if it's a goblin skull or not, but it does seem to be missing a tooth. Missing a tooth? Oh dear. Pansy told me you found a goblin tooth in a rabbit hole on the green fields. This must be Gorfimble's head, rolled all the way down to this quarry from the rabbit hole it landed in during the Battle of the Greenfields hundreds of years ago. You've got to take this to Brombard Fox Tower at the Batham House in Mickle Delving. Bull Roarer's club is on display there, and I'd wager old Gorfimble hasn't forgotten Bull Roarer's mighty club. He won't try anything while that's at hand. So we're not putting it up there for historical reasons. We're just putting it there to intimidate it with the club. So what else do we have? So we've got to go to the Golden Perch in stock. The new arrival in Combs, nothing to do with the Shire. So okay. So at the moment we're actually looking pretty good. What other quests have we got? So I've actually given myself some items from one of my other characters. So like I said, I keep hold of everything. I never chuck anything in the bin. So I've got myself a universal toolkit because I've got tons of them stored up in storage, which are like a 3-in-1 tool. So depending on what your crafting profession is, So I am, I believe, an explorer. Yeah. Which gives me the forester, prospector, and tailor vocations. So universal tools basically does all of them, although obviously you can only be proficient in 3 of them. And gives pretty nice stats. Now there are better versions of the universal toolkit available these days. There's at least one from Gundabad, and there might be other ones as well, which have slightly better stats than these, but these are accessible, can be usable by any character from level 1 onwards. So I'll slot that, and it means you don't have to change between your various tools whenever you're doing something. So like if I'm mining an ore node, I need to get out my pickaxe. If I'm chopping a tree, I need to get out my woodworker's axe. So it just makes your life a little bit easier. Let's pick up that yarrow root. That's used for making dyes. Always worth picking that up. Scholars make the dyes as well. There is a couple of harvest flies along this road. It's tempting to get off and kill them though. I think I'll leave it. I'm probably going to mispronounce your name, but Zoxes, if that's pronounced correctly. Hello to you as well. So, into the golden perch in stock. And I assume it's the tavern keep. Yep, Gundrick Chubb.
A lovely day, isn't it?
More clover, and just as we were running short. Thank you, Sylvie. You are doing the Brawler proud, you are. So what do we do now? Use the stone. What stone? I've got to put this... Okay, right. Let's go all the way back to Brockenborings now. Lost Shire Hobbit, Scalvig and Avella. So the names on the mouths. So yeah, Scalvig, my Bjorning, who we did Evandin with. He's kind of my general kind of quartermaster. So all the crap that I have from various characters, when they accumulate stuff, they just kind of like funnel all their stuff into Scalvig's mailbox. Then he accumulates it, and then it sends out a batch of like 10 items to whoever looks after the task items, 10 bits of jewellery to whoever looks after the jewellery, and all that kind of stuff, just to make it easier, rather than every character pinging off mails to other characters. And yes, Avella, one of my many Hobbit burglars, is the person who looks after the jewellery, because burglars and jewellery makes sense, doesn't it? So she sent us some earrings, which are definitely better than what I've got, actually. So I should equip both of them. Give me some better stats. I still need a necklace, actually. I haven't actually got a necklace. And I've got some nice rings, but I can't use them until I hit level 20, so that's a shame. Both of those can go in the bin. Got a beer, can throw that in the bin. The bags are getting full, gonna have to watch out. So we need to go back to Brockenborings to use the stone. We're going to go to the Matham house, so let's miffle quite over there just to save some time.
Good day.
What did you say this was? Golfimble's skull? My goodness, this is a very significant find, Silry, even if it does make for a rather unpleasant Matham. This is a bit of a strange coincidence, though, for Golfimble's skull to appear on this particular day. I was consulted about Brawler's club just a few hours ago. So I can either choose some gloves, which are medium armour, so we don't want that. Light armour shoulders, don't want that. Or a heavy helm, which has higher armour than what we've got, and some might. So that's actually a good upgrade.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
So we shall equip that, throw the old one in the bin. I can throw my old tools in the bin actually as well, all these inferior tools. Since I've got my universal toolkit. Gives me a few more slots. Have you met Bounder Primstone? Runs the watch house up at Brockenborings. He came by a few hours ago and asked to borrow the Bull Rowers Club. Normally I don't lend things out, since I like folk to visit the Matham house if they're interested in seeing something, but Primstone is very dependable. Some of the young hobbits up in Brockenborings have expressed an interest in the Battle of Greenfields, apparently. and Primstone wanted to show them the club Brawler used to knock off the head of Golfimble. If you think it should be brought back to keep Golfimble's skull company, you could mention it to him at the Watch House in Brockenborings. So we're going to have to go grab that as well. Is there anything that we need to do in the town? I don't know where... Oh, this is the prologue quest. I was going to say where we are on the prologue. So I think what we might do while we're near... yeah, there's nothing over there. So I think we'll go to Little Delving, because that is the location of the 12th and final pie. And then I can put that behind me and start dealing with my recovery from having to do all these delivery quests. Lockasix says, it might be odd, but in 10 years of my LOTRO account existence, I never found the dyes appealing. No, to each their own. Admittedly, the options are less diverse than other MMOs, I would say. I mean, in recent years they have added a lot of more new dyes, but they tend to be like really bright in your face kind of colours. So where you might have had like a soft pink, like you might get for like a rose petal, now you get like bright, angry, Technicolor electric pink, which is really aggressive, and things like that. So yeah, to each their own. Some people like dyeing stuff. Some people are quite happy with that, with just vanilla cosmetics that they find, or like to theme themselves according to like you know, the gear you get in Rohan if you want to look like a man of Rohan, or you know, dress like a dwarf with the dwarven armor, and you know, whatever kind of themes you like. But yeah, to each their own. Right, I had in my bags, there we go, and a fielding coin, which I never actually got around to using. So you get these at the start of the game. Now, depending on where you started your character, you can take it to any of these characters. So just because you're a hobbit doesn't mean you need to take it to the hobbit one. But these 5 locations at the starting areas. So John Brackenbuck in Archit, which is where you would end up if you were a man or a Bjorning after you've done your intro. Dwalin in Forin's Hall in Ered Luin. If you were a dwarf, you'd be going there first. Cardival and Kellendim, the other side of Ered Luin, if you're an elf or a high elf. Bottom and Butterbur in Breetown, who's not directly in the starting area, but that's kind of where everyone gets funneled to later on. Or Marewill Woodfoot in Mickle Delving, which will be where we're going to go to in a bit. Now, did I have one of them or did I have 2? Because I think I normally start with 2 Mivral coins, but I can only see 1. So, right, where is the dodgy pie? Have I come too deep into town? Oh, there it is. Wido Boffin. Well, you will be Wido if you eat that many pies.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Don't get any ideas about snitching that pie of mine. It's from Holly Hornblower in Hobbiton. Do you know how hard it is to get one of her pies? I've been waiting for days. That pie shall be the highlight of my dinner party tonight. What? What? Bad berries? Why, I would not have believed it. Goodness, can you imagine my embarrassment had I served that? Take it away. Take it back to Holly. Her home is north of the Hobbiton main square. And make sure she bakes me a new one quickly. I have guests coming over. Even though it's like the middle of the night at this point, but whatever. Grab the pie. And again, we have to make it to Hobbiton, so let's just make sure there's going to be no hungry hobbits on the way out of Little Delving, and then we should be good out in the fields. Actually, it's pre-dawn because you can see it's starting to glow over to the east. Oh, there's one there, right there. Let's go extra wide. Sometimes I misjudge how wide I need to go. Okay, that one crosses the bridge, so watch out for that one. Right, heading over. James F. Beveridge says, Shire Plum is a fine colour, the dye colour. Many of the festival dyes are quite muted, such as Belagaya Blue and Moria Silver. So yeah, I admit there are probably other ones as well that I haven't actually been keeping on track of. Oh, Patches of Flowers, that's for the Spring Festival, that's why we haven't seen them previously. Yeah, the options for dyes are less less excessive than something, let's say, like Guild Wars, where you literally have hundreds upon hundreds of dies to the point where it's kind of ridiculous. Because you've got every possible combination of like red, green, blue channels to make a slightly different shade of the same colour. You know, if you want to play pretty cosmetics with your characters, you're still perfectly able to do so in LOTRO. You just have to find a nice cosmetic you like. Hope that it can be dyed. Most of them can be, but some items can't be dyed at all, or can only be dyed in certain ways in certain parts of the cosmetic. But some people like dressing themselves up more than others. Some people don't care, just use whatever the appearance of their standard gear is, or just choose a pretty basic kind of appearance. So whatever suits you. So you say, as an artist and a lifetimer, you may be somewhat prejudiced, and you've played Guild Wars as well. So yeah, I still haven't got around to playing the new Guild Wars expansion. I need to do that, but I've just been so busy. I had hoped to get around to playing that like as soon as it came out. I was looking forward to it as soon as it came out, and then I've probably like not played it at all. I've like logged in a couple of times. I've done some of my daily login stuff, done my home instance, but otherwise I've not really done any of the new questing. And the same with the latest LOTRO expansion, as I've explained previously. Right, so we should be okay coming from the southwest without any hungry hobbits. And then, god damn it, that is the last pie. We're done. No more pies. There we go. Right.
What do you need?
So once you've delivered all the pies back to her, all 12, you can hand this in. So thank you so much for bringing me back the pies, Sylvie. I'm nearly done baking the new ones, but don't fear, I won't ask you to deliver them for me. You've done more than enough. So there we go. Increased reputation there. So we got actually our wisdom's gone up as well, which is nice. So that is Pies of the Shire done. So on our deeds of the Shire, we've completed the Explored Shire deed. Just kind of going around all the different places, discovering stuff. We've completed the Life of a Bounder final, which is doing the quests of the Shire. We've still got to do the Slayer deeds. We've done the Restoring the Post, because we did all the 10 or 12 post quests from each town. We've done all 12 pies from all the different towns. And we've completed the Shire Brewmaster deed, which is all the quests inside the taverns. Now you've got another quest for me.
Stay a moment.
You are a true friend, Sylvie, and thanks to you my business is saved. If you give me a moment, I'll dig out one of my recipes for you. Now, where did I leave it? So she's going to give me a title. Nice.
Is there something I can do for you?
Here you are, Sylvie. For your hard work, I've decided to give you one of my pie recipes. Be sure not to use spoiled berries. And if you have any stomach left for pies after the pie adventures you've now had, I'd like you to have one of them as well. Thanks again for your hard work, Sylvie the Pie Runner. So there we go, we've got a title, we get some pies, which give us some regen. And if you're a cook, you get this recipe. The only catch is that it's going to be bind on acquire, so it is bound to this specific character. So if you have another character who is your cook on your account, you can't trade it, unfortunately. You'll have to come and do the Shire on your cook to get that recipe. We need to turn in the Affielding coin back in Mickle Delving. We need to go to Bounder Primstone. I think it's in Brock and Borings. That's where two of our quests are. So yeah, we're in the Brock and Borings watch office.
Hello there.
Sylvie, you've caught me at a bad time, I'm afraid. I was just about to step out. All right, yes, I borrowed Balthelion club, and I'm sorry that I had to lie to Brombard about it. But if Gorfimble has really come back to life, this club is the only thing that might scare him out of the Shire, don't you think? I'm going to that goblin camp you found to get to the bottom of all this, once and for all. No, I don't want you coming along. You can tell that hunter Howross I'll have taken care of the goblins soon, if you like. He deserves some thanks for finding those camps. So back to Howross and tell him we've got it. It's all under control. Which probably means it's totally not under control. So we want to come over here It's lovely early morning time now. Sun's starting to come up. There we go. So we can interact with one of these stones. There we go. We'll put our pint on there for paying respects. Okay, we've got a bunch of hobbits. Having a little musical number playing here. All dressed up as well. Coordinating their outfits. So this is what I like about Loreley. You just get random stuff like this happening all the time. What should we do? Clap dance? Let's dance. I have no idea what they're playing. There's a group of them as well in the Prancing Pony earlier as well, playing some random songs. I can't work out if there is something they're playing that the melody might be something vaguely familiar. If any of you guys recognise it, let me know.
A lovely day, isn't it?
I just received a fresh batch of Bull Roarers brew from Gundrick Rub. Thank you, Silry. You've paid your respects. Now for the Bull Roarers Challenge. You have heard of the Bull Roarers Challenge, haven't you? Every year the Took family host the Bull Roarers Challenge here in Brockenborings. Some hobbits like young Belgo practice all year for the event. Speak with Tobias Brockhouse just east of Brockenborings. He will explain the rules to you. If you complete the Bull Roarers Challenge, return to me and I will reward you with a special prize. So, grab that. We'll head east. Loxic says, I did that too with the dwarf coming in front of foreign tool. So yeah, sometimes they can be a kinship group of players. Oh, hang on. I need this guy. Sometimes it can literally just be one player with a whole bunch of alts that they're logged into simultaneously. But they can sort of coordinate their band music, so... right.
Good day.
Hello, friend. My name is Tobias Brockhouse, official in-league games master. Can I help you with something? So this is going to teach us how to do this. Now, I don't remember there ever being 3 routes. I only remember there being 1 route, which is the middle one. So this could be interesting. Seems to now be an easy, medium and a hard. Sigismund Northtook sent you to participate in the Bull Roarers Challenge, did he? The game's origin dates back to Banderbus Took himself. Every morning, it is said, he would run atop the fences of the Great Smiles to stay in shape and hone his reflexes. Simply stand on the starting platform, pick up your official Bull Roarers Challenge brew tankard, toast the Banderbus' health, and make it across the fence to the other platform where Belgo is standing before the time runs out. Good luck, Silry. So it's a repeatable quest, and we can get some festival cosmetics and stuff. So we will have a certain amount of time to get to the end, and we're going to be really drunk, and our vision's going to be messed up. I don't know if there's a particular advantage to doing one route or the other, but it's basically like the floor is lava. We're not allowed to touch the floor, so let's go. Bam. So you start off all right. We're going to make damn it. We're going to make really silly drunk hobbit noises.
Could I take a moment of your time?
I feel I'm just going to get more and more drunk. I don't know how many I've had in comparison to our... Oh, god damn it. Would you believe it? Once upon a time I was actually quite good at this.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
The problem is you just start seeing double. Or triple. Oh, no. Took that turn too fast. Damn it.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
I should probably pay attention to actually how long I've got to do this, because I might be unnecessarily rushing. Boink. 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 Yeah. I have all the time in the world. There we go. We've won the Bull Roarers Challenge. So we can go back into town. I'm going to have to turn up. What is it? What channel would it be on? No. Sound effects? There we go. I sound like I'm going to throw up. Gotta love drunk hobbit female noises. Always makes me chuckle. Right, so head back into town, where we are now horrifically drunk and everything is green and hazy. Actually, no, he's not down here. He's up here. We're drink driving. You did it. I never doubted you for a moment, Silly. You have truly honoured the spirit of Bran the Rest took. So we can either get a wooden keg furniture item, which we can put in our house, which we can interact with and get drunk, which is always fun. We can get Bull Roarer's Tankard, which is a cosmetic item, which we can put in our cosmetic hand slot. We can get a clover patch, which is another home decoration, so it's going to be something similar to what we saw earlier in the Greenfields. We can get a Greenfields hat, so we can have a nice green hat with a clover in it. Or we can get some disposable pints of Bull Roarer's brew, which, since I've got everything else, I'll just take those, because I don't really care which item I get. Right, so next, let's go to Halros. Yep, drunk hobbit noises indeed. Gotta love them. Don't care about any of these. What's this? Quest item. Oh, that's just where we... So, when I got, presumably to level 15, I got a random quest item to direct me to Hengstacer Farms, which is where you can go and buy a permanent mount if you need one. So it just gives you the directions where to go. So just to show you guys where it is on the map. So in Breeland, if you're not in Breeland, if you started in Eredluin or the Shire, you will be sent to Breeland at some point. You'll be directed to Bree Town. Hengstacer Farms just slightly to the north of Bree. And then near the Stable Master there'll be someone that you can purchase a permanent steed from. But you will need to do the riding skill. And to do that, you either need to do a quest from the Stable Master there. I believe that quest is still gated to VIP subscribers only, but don't quote me on that. That might be outdated information. Otherwise, you can purchase the riding skill in the store for a couple of LOTRO points, but it's nothing too extreme. It's a 2-digit cost. I don't want to make assumptions. I think it might be 95. It might be less than that these days. We'll see.
What do you need?
But I can't check it, unfortunately, because I've got the riding skill, so it won't show me. So Primstone is journeying to the Goblin camp. That brave little fool. Does he think that Banderbreast Took won the Battle of Greenfields by himself? Bull Roarer may have knocked off Gorfimble's head, but many hobbits lost their lives at that battle, and their names are no longer remembered.
What can I do for you?
I've learned something of our enemy. Lubach, the leader of these goblins, is under the sway of a man from the north, from Angmar, I believe. It was long thought that none of his people still dwelled in the north, but it seems they have returned. I do not know what lies this man of Angmar told to Lubach, but he has convinced him that he is the heir of Gorfimble and that he must fulfil Gorfimble's ambition, the domination of the Shire. We must not delay, Silry. We need to rescue Bounder Primstone. I will seek out some of my kindred and meet you inside the goblin encampment to the northwest. Look for the cave entrance inside the camp. If the hobbit is alive, he will surely be within the cave, seeking Lubach. And then we can get a selection of items as our reward. So, can move the Hengstacer Farm quest because we're not doing that. Let's grab that yarrow root. And then we're going to kill probably all the remaining goblins we need. Actually, no, we've already done all the goblin slayers. We're fine. Just brigands, harvest flies, and wolves. And the wolves actually can't be that many left. Actually, no, there's quite a few. Need 36 more. So, in this camp at the very far northwest. So, let's just run in. Since we don't need to kill them anymore. Run past all of you. You're going to dismount me at some point. Do a little tumble off the horse. Ready, and one more. There we go. Tumble. Is it over here? Yep. Locasic, you like the grassy plains of Bree. Yeah, it's a nice little region. Nice rolling foothills. Bonk. Slap that one just because he's asleep. Right, in the door. There we go. I can
The
walk in.
goblins of Mount Graham have never forgotten their defeat at the hands of the Shire folk, and revenge has brought them hither once more.
So, jump over all the spikes. So we have to murder everything that's in here, because it will not reset aggro if we run past it. But I'll grab them up anyway, I don't care. Make them all follow me, and we'll murder them at the end. Throw a mug in his face. Come on, choo choo, join the mob train. At some point I'm going to horrifically overpull. You found Band of Brimstone. Okay, let's turn around now and fight everything. There's still some of them chasing me up. They're taking their time. A couple of them ran off. Bam, I don't think that one even came near me. Oh no, don't hit him. That's rude. I thought I was done for.
It's been a foul day, it has.
I found the goblin Silry. They didn't much care for the Bull Roarers Club and took it from me without much trouble. Their leader is a goblin called Lubach. We've got to get rid of this Lubach fellow. He might not be Gothimbal, but I reckon he's just as bad. My wounds look worse than they are. I'll come with you. Just give me half a moment. So we're going to have to protect him. He's got 1,000 health though, which is not too bad. Okay, I'm ready. Let's get rid of this Lubach fellow. So he's just toughened up. He's probably bleeding all over the floor. There we go. Fight all you guys. Now, I could just get a mob train going again, but odds are, if I don't hit everything hard enough, our friend is probably just going to hit it once and take aggro and then spend ages fighting it. So I'll just murder these one at a time as I come in. Here we go, this is probably the guy. There we are. I'm surprised you've made it here, but you won't leave here alive. You cannot hope to stand against my might. My new friend has sworn it. I ain't doing silly goblin voices. My throat is quite dry enough as it is today. So we've got to defeat him, defeat his minions. What are you doing? Kill them all! Now you will feel the anger of Lubach, the heir of the great Gothimbal. I really won't, so I'm going to hit you a couple of times and you're dead. Like that. Take that, villain, and let that be a lesson to all goblins. Look, it's that Halros fellow. Arriving late as always. Oh, I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. My wounds. Oh no, splat. You have my apologies, Silry. I hoped to arrive before you joined in battle with Lubach, but I saw something that diverted my attention, which slowed my progress through the cave. One of the goblins, a rank creature of little prowess, had gotten his hands on Bullroarer's club. He was trying to escape the caves with it, and I have no doubt Lubach's wrath would have been great when he found it gone. We saved him the trouble of his anger, though it would be of little consolation to him for now. I have recovered the club and will return it to Brimstone when I have delivered him safely to the watch house in Brockenborings. You have done well to stop this threat, Silry, but something about this affair troubles me. Come to my camp in a short while and we can discuss these matters in the open air.
Greetings.
You have done well, but let us leave this place. The stench of the goblins is quite overpowering.
Saruman's treachery has delayed me too long. I can only hope that Frodo and Sam have left the Shire. Without my aid, their road will be a perilous one. Frodo must rely upon the Rangers and your prowess to see him to the end.
Sorry if that's excessively loud, because it always is with the bloody the videos. Okay, so we're back at Harris's camp.
How can I be of service?
You are made of stern stuff indeed, Sylvie, and the Shire has been saved through your efforts, but this is a joyless victory. Lubach spoke of Aegon, the man of Angmar, that planted the seeds of conquest in his mind. But this man of this man there was no sign. Where did he go, and for what purpose? Did he abandon Lubach out of sudden necessity? Or was that his plan from the beginning? And what has become of my kindred? Normally they keep a close watch on these lands, but of them now there is no sign. This riddle is broader than the Shire, Sylvie. So what do we got? We've got a dagger, we've got a hammer, we have a staff, we have light trousers, we have medium boots, a great sword and a javelin. None of which I can use. So I'll pick the great sword because that might be the one with the highest gold value attached.
What can I do for you?
So we've completed the Hobbit prologue then. So all of the racial prologues will eventually vector you over to the Prancing Pony in Breland. Which is what this next quest is going to do, and then from there you would pick up the epic story volume 1. But as I've said previously, with the prologues, all races can do all other races' prologues. It's just a case of going to wherever the various quests start and picking them up and then following the quest chain along. So you can do them all if you really want to, just to experience them all on one character. I do not know what fate has befallen my kindred, but I fear for them. I fear too for the continued safety of the Shire. But I am but one man and cannot stand alone against the dangers that even now crouch on the borders. I last received word that the captain of my people is at the Prancing Pony, an inn of Bree. I would ask you speak with him at once and tell him what has happened here. He must know that Aegon is somewhere in the wild, and the rest of our people may be in danger. Go, Sylvie, travel east across the Brandywine River into Breland and find my chieftain. The man you wish to speak with is named Butterbur, the owner of the Prancing Pony. He will know my captain by the name of Strider. Hurry, for the Shire may be unprotected. So there we go. So Harros is kind of the hidden guardian of the Shire. So the hobbits live a peaceful life, and he's one of the things on the borders, kind of protecting it, stopping all the nasties coming in. So what else do we need to do? We can do another quest. We can do it again. Shall we try the other ones? I don't think there's any difference between any of the other 3 routes. It's just for personal pride and glory. Hang on, no, that's how I spoke too soon. Challenge mode, north, south, and the advanced. So I think there's less time.
And have some tea.
Okay, so this should be the central route. Go. Yep, so that is going down a lot faster than it did before. Ooh. Don't fail it now. There we go. Done that. Hand that one in. I'm not sure if we can only do each of those quests once per day. I suspect we probably can only do each once. I'm now going to end up getting massively drunk.
How do you do?
So we go spring leaves. Let's get bonus spring leaves. There we go. Loot all the rubbish in my bags. There we go. New deed. Spring is dandy. So this is the Spring Festival meta deed. So we have to complete the Spring Festival run in the Shire. So that'll be the pub crawl. That will start at the party tree. The one in Bree starts sort of near the West Gate, if I remember correctly. Just south of the West Gate, kind of near where the vault is. Brawler's advanced. You've got to do the hedge maze. A couple of quests in the hedge maze. They've got the Stomper Shrew over in Eredluin. So in Breland, hedge maze is this big square over here at the party fields. In Eredluin at Dwelond, there is like a little cave just south of the Stable Master. That's where the Stomper Shrew is. But yeah, I'm not going to go crazy with the Spring Festival. But while these ones are here,
take a moment of your time?
so this is the north, so this is the left route. I feel that's the super hard mode. Should we do south first?
Stay and have some tea.
Right, go. Boink. Oh. Oh god. Can I jump it all? Oh, I could jump it all, but I missed. Let's try again. Got a little bit of cooldown. Okay, let's do the
Hello
other one.
there.
Screw it.
Might I speak with you a moment?
We'll alternate them. I'm determined to do it. This one's hard though. There's like poles rather than fences on this one, which is going to be really hard to spot when you're drunk and you see two poles and you want to know which one's the real one. Boing. So fence running. Once you've got the hang of the fence running, it's not too bad. Oh. Oh god, we have to run across the top of it as well. I feel like I probably could have jumped the whole way. Can we just test that? Come on, get on the fence. Get on the fence. Get on the fence. Can I jump it? I can go the whole way. Okay. Just doing a bit of a test run. This feels like it's going to be a nightmare. Can I go straight to that one? Oh, this is going to be evil. Screw that. I ain't doing that. It's going to take ages and it's going to drive me insane. I'll have one more go on the south side. Because that should be right.
Stay and have some tea.
I think... Oh no, there's a couple of poles at the end just to make life difficult. Alright. Jump. Jump across. Jump. Nope, missed it. Okay, screw it. Enough of that. The left one is usually a good wager. Yeah. So, where do we need to go? We need to go to the bottom of Butterbur. We need to go back to Mickle Delving. So, let's track nearby quests. What else we got? That could well be it. So, while we're running back, let's press J. Look at our traits, because we have a trait point from hitting level 17. So we have got 6 points already spent in our first tier. We unlocked our second tier. So what do we got? Dexterous Hook finishes skill damage. So that would be nice. Second tier, we've got increased critical chance. So as I've said before, crit chance is great, but it becomes more noticeable at high levels. So like 5% crit chance at the low levels isn't going to make a huge difference because you're going to have a low crit chance already, and the damage you will do when you crit is going to be a lot lower than it would be at high levels anyway. So that's kind of one to pick up once you've got a few more levels under your belt. And anything that gives you any traits that give you a pure stat increase to like might, vitality, agility generally aren't worth getting. So I'd say no to might increase, critical chance increase, pick it up at a higher level when you need to come back and pick up some more traits. So I think we're going to spend our point in Dexterous Hook training them, which takes us up to 7. So we'll spend our 8, 9 and 10 in that to get up to rank 4, at which point we'll get the third tier available. So we'll apply those. Then if we go on our racial traits, because we unlocked Hobbit stature earlier, so we've got 1 slot currently available. Our second slot we don't get till level 19, which is not that far away anyway, but we've got 1 trait, we've got 1 slot, we might as well put it in, even if it's not necessarily something we particularly care much about. We can actually slot some virtue traits because we've actually got some now, so I'm going to jump on a
How do you do?
horse Mickle Delving, just so that can autopilot. So, I'll full disclosure, since I don't play that much at the end game anymore, the meta may have changed, but historically, things that gave mitigations were generally quite nice to have. So, something like Innocence for the physical mitigation, Tolerance for the tactical mitigation. So, for the sake of putting stuff in, I'll put those in. What else have we got? I think Confidence, no. Compassion was another defensive one. Yep, Fizmit, Charity, go Resistance and Fizmit. I don't have them yet. So of what I've got, probably Discipline to give you some might. That'll do for now. Did they rework Mercy? No. Let's just stick in Empathy now. Screw it. That'll do. At low levels anyway, they're not going to give huge bonuses. It's only really as you start getting more into the mid and late game that they give more meaningful bonuses depending on how much virtue experience you've earned. Right, so we need to go to the mayor to hand in our fielding coin. And Touchwood, I think that might be all the quests unless we've missed something earlier on. That's just the VIP rewards vendor, that quest ring, so don't need to worry too much about that. How long am I going to be drunk for? 40 seconds. And I can finally get my vision back instead of like trying to play this game cross-eyed. Shire Hobbit says it took you ages to do the easy route on the Brawler challenge. Yeah. once you kind of get the hang of it, you can usually repeat it a bit.
Oh, good day.
So we can hand that in. What do you have here? A coin of some sort. Doesn't look like much. And what's this? Some sort of doors on the back. What a queer coin you've brought me. I suppose it's worth something, although surely not much. Perhaps Keeper Foxtail would like to put it on display in the Mavum House. Yes, that should be fine. Here, choose something that you feel is appropriate for a coin such as this. So it's a couple of housing items, Horde of the Dryad Elf, which gives us some hope. Just whatever takes your fancy, really. So that is that done. I'll have a quick look around, but I think we've pretty much done everything because we've been to all the towns, been to Mickle Delving, Little Delving, Needlehull, the Shire homesteads. Although there's not really much to do quest-wise, it's only just to go explore what's available to buy. Waymeet, Tuckborough, Hobbiton, Overhill, Bywater, Throgmorton, Woodhall, Stock, Budgeford, the Quarry and Scary, Brock and Borings, and then our little trip northwards. So technically, Bullroarer's Sword and this area around here, around Oakbarton, is kind of technically also the Shire. And I think many of the things that you can do there will actually advance your Shire deeds. But strictly speaking, it is part of the Evendim map. And I'm sure I did mention that when we were doing Evendim way back when with Skalvig, many years ago. So we're not covering that, but if you want to see that part of the northernmost parts of the Shire, have a look back at the earlier episodes for Evendim, and you will see us covering that with our lovely Bjorning friend. But otherwise, that's probably it there. So all we needed to do then was Brigand Slayer, Harvest Flies, Slugs and Wolves. So as I've said before, wolves, there's the Wolf Den over here, northwest of Hobbiton. That's probably the most concentrated area with wolves. There's also quite a few over by Budgeford. The Brigands are best down here south of Woodhall, over near Narrowcleave, up in those hills. There's loads of them there. Goblins over in Greenfields. Slugs only spawn in the swamp. But if you need to do that one, kill everything that you see, and it might respawn as a slug, even if it wasn't a slug previously. What are the other Slayer leads? Spiders, easily done at the Quarry and Scary, and Harvest Flies are all kind of around the Woodhall region, so they're fairly easy to do. Lockersix says Oakbarton is quite a maze of a self-contained town. Yeah, there's a lot going on over there. Puddlefoot's farm and the ruins just north of it, says James F. Beveridge. Which I don't know what that's in response to, and I can't remember where Puddlefoot's farm is. So, yeah, Yowhite for the Harvest Flies. That's down here, just east of Woodhall. So all kind of in this region, slightly north of Woodhall, or between Woodhall and Stock. They're good for the flies. yeah, you guys are all agreeing that Oakbarton's a bit of a maze. There's a lot going on up there, particularly if you end up going up in the hills, in the area that technically forms like the North Cotton Farm instance, but there's also like a real world area as well. We can wander around, and it is literally a maze. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Shire. We can take a little trip over to Barnum and Butterbur. Oh, there we go. Puddlefoot's farm is at Budgeford. So there we go. Has he changed his outfit? No, it's just so he looks different from behind. I can't get out. So, just to show you guys where we are. So, if you come outside, obviously the Prancing Pony is a very notable location from the books and the films. So, we are in Breeland at the town of Bree. We can click on the Bree town. We're in the northeast part of Bree town. And then all you need to do is come straight in the door, and he would be dead in front of you. Speak to him. He will then send you off to speak to Strider, who of course we know is Aragorn.
How can I be of
or if you don't, spoilers. So, but then again, you don't know who Aragorn is if you didn't know that. So, who's that you're looking for? Oh, Strider. Yes. Well, not that it's any of my business, but I wouldn't go near that ranger out of the wild. He's a strange one. Not that he can't tell a rousing tale when he's of a mind. Well, it's clear you've no mind to listen to me. Strider keeps to himself mostly. From the common room, turn left down the hall and keep on until you can only go right. Follow straight down that hall until you're at the foot of the stairs. Strider is in the room to the right of the stairs. Now I've got paying guests to attend to and no time to be chatting, if you know what I mean. It's just that busy. So you can finish that. You can then pick up
one thing drives out
the
another.
4-word quest. And then that basically just sends you off, and then you can run down over here, down the corridor, and then follow this passageway all the way down, and basically get down over here. And Strider's in this room down the bottom, and then later on you meet a certain individual who's going to be in the upstairs room. But spoilers, unless you've seen that in the previous playthrough, or otherwise know who that's going to be in the story-wise. So I think that is it for the Shire. Just have a quick check of our quest log. But otherwise that should be everything done. Yeah, nothing else there, just festival quests and discovering the Descendants. So I'm not going to cover the Spring Festival in detail. I'm sure I've already done it as part of the Let's Play LOTRO series. Oh, there we go. Look, there's a whole rainbow coloured suite of people over here. Oh, hello. There's many bands. Oh, we're doing some line dancing as well, apparently. House of the Rising Sun. I know that one. Yeah, these ones are just waiting around. They're taking turns playing songs, it seems. But yeah. That's what I love about Lauren. Random stuff like this just happens all the time. Wander along, you see a load of people playing music. Oh, there's another group over there as well. Gotta love this guy's dancing over here on the left. Just doing a little bit of sidestepping. Nothing elaborate compared to some of these other people. Just doing a little bit of a slow dance. That big shrew though, yes. Somebody's got a giant shrew as a pet. Which looks big enough to ride, to be fair. Don't know why it's covered in blood though. Looks like something's like grabbed hold of it and tried eating it. But yeah, so that is it for the Shire then. So I am going to stop there. And then next time when we pick up with this, I think we will pick up with the Wildwood. Because I've never actually got around to doing that. So the Wildwood is a discrete area of Bree. This used to be mountains that you couldn't traverse. But it's now offered as a separate questing area. So I will have to figure out where we start this. There's going to be some vector quest to send us out over here. And do a bit of questing around here. But if memory serves me correct, I think it's a 40 to 45-ish region. If it's not, I'm sure someone in chat is going to correct me in the next few seconds. But that'll be the next place we go to. And then it depends how quickly all these episodes get out and where we go next. Because it might end up being beyond the Shire. if that is out and available in time. Otherwise, it will be, if I zoom out, we will be heading over the east side of the Misty Mountains, south from Lothlorien, and we'll be going down into the Great River. So it's either Great River or Yonder Shire, depending on whether that's out, and we'll see what happens. 45 to 50, you think? The angle of Miflifel, is that how you pronounce it? That's the other region that was. Where does it show up? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's just an extension of the Troll Shores map. I don't know if anyone else has actually been to the Troll Shores since, and whether they've revamped the rest of the Troll Shores at the same time they added this. But yeah, like the Wildwood, it seems like it's just a little extension. So I seem to be doing this quite a bit, putting in little extension areas in existing maps. But I've never been down here either, so that's probably another one I need to do. So I might need to do both of those before we end up going to the Great River. But we'll get to Rohan eventually. There we go, yeah, Angle is 40 to 45 and Wildwood is 45 to 50. So maybe we'll do Angle first then. And yes, we have to rediscover the stables. I did hear about that, which I presume applies to all of them, which will be a pain. But it'll be interesting to see how the area we can now traverse connects to the existing areas. Because previously you couldn't really get up in those areas because you had Talberinen, Edge of Candideth. So I think before you could maybe have got slightly south of this river, but then all of this, the rest of it would have been not traversable because we used to have the giants and something down here, didn't we? But this, whatever this is over here on the west, that seems to be new. So I look forward to exploring all those bits because I haven't been back to those areas to do. But yeah, so that'll be it for now then. So next time we will pick up with one of those, either the Angle or Yonder Shire. Or Angle or Wildwood, and then probably Yonder Shire, then probably Great River it would be. But there's plenty of things to keep us busy with. But that is all for now. So thank you to everyone who has turned up in the chat to join us today. So Lost Shire Hobbit, as always, Julius Maximovus, Maggie Chrissy, James F. Beveridge, Zoxys, Lokasic, I feel like I've missed someone. Maggie Chrissy. Thank you guys for showing up, and if you're watching it, the individual edited episodes later, hope you've all enjoyed this, and we'll pick it up next time wherever we go. So until then, I will see you later.
Here